Welcome back to CI Living. It can be easy for the stressors of life to pile on your shoulders and weigh you down, but that doesn't have to be the case. Licensed psychotherapist Nanette Riondo is here to give you the solutions that you need to live your best life. Welcome back, and thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so what are we talking about today?
Well, this is actually a viewer-requested subject. And I was like, wow, her audience really doesn't mess around, because this is a big one, right? How not to let the overwhelm of life really get you down.
Right.
So in thinking about how to approach this, I thought the first thing we need to do is help everyone understand what's actually happening when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling stressed, worried, anxious.
That's a really good place to start, I feel like, because ultimately, if you know what the problem is, then you can come up with a solution, right?
Yes, and so my number one advice is to really learn to be aware of what's happening in your nervous system, touching my mic, happening in your nervous system, so that you know how to respond.
Right, okay.
And in order to do that, we have to understand the nervous system a little bit. So I'm gonna try to simplify something that's kind of complicated.
So this will be the nervous system simplified.
Yes, in a nutshell.
Perfect.
So it's basically the autopilot system that your body has to respond to whether or not it thinks it's safe or in danger.
Okay.
So your body's constantly picking up cues from the external and internal world and deciding, am I safe, am I not safe?
Okay.
And there's two main branches of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic is the gas, the parasympathetic is the brakes.
Okay, that's a really easy way to look at that.
Yeah, so over here I have a chart, and there's a lot of words on here, but I also used color to try to show that it's a gradual process of increasing to intensity.
Okay.
And so I'm using this idea of traffic lights to help you check in, where am I green, yellow, or red?
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So where we want to be most of the time is in the rest and digest, social engagement.
Okay.
And this is where you're calm, you're breathing easily, your muscles are relaxed, you're digesting, you're circulating, all the things.
Your body's doing the things it's supposed to do, and it's doing them calmly and correctly.
Exactly. So then when your body picks up on some danger, some alert, it's going to start to elevate a little bit, and initially it'll put you in an alert zone, which isn't necessarily bad. It's maybe you're task-oriented, you have to get something done, you're focused, but the sympathetic, the gas, kicks in a little bit to activate. So the breathing might become a little more rapid, you get more laser focused.
Sure.
Your muscles might be kind of on the ready.
Okay.
It helps you focus.
So you're kind of prepared for back in the day with our ancestors, if there was a saber-toothed tiger chasing us, we're ready to go.
Yes, but this right here is just very mild. Like maybe you're just like getting stuff done, going through your task list.
Okay.
Then as it starts to increase and the body decides it's more and more dangerous, the sympathetic keeps elevating, activating, and you go up beyond here into like this purely yellow zone.
Yeah.
Where you're like frustrated, irritated, angry, I've got it in fight or flight, or worried, anxious, fear. And then as it continues to activate, you're going to end up in this red zone where you're going to be in fight, flight, or even more activated freeze.
Sure.
And what I've drawn here shows that it kind of loops back around, because what happens is the freeze is kind of a hybrid between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, because you're sort of shut down.
Okay.
But even beyond that, it goes loops around in the parasympathetic, the brakes, put you into shutdown, which is actually the highest level of red.
Okay.
Even though the brakes have slammed on.
Gotcha. So ultimately it loops all the way back around to where you think you would sort of go back to zero, but instead you've gone to
completely shut down. Right? And this is dissociation, depression, it's like you've given up.
Okay.
Your body thinks there's no chance of surviving this.
Gotcha. All right, so you're ultimately just completely done until you figure out tools.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you probably have for us.
Right. So in the spirit of first identifying what's going on, I brought some scenarios.
Oh, of course. Excellent. Scenarios. What are the scenarios, Nanette?
Well, you're going to tell me. So on the front of each card is a scenario for you to read.
Okay.
And then I have here red, yellow, and green scarves. And your job is to determine where is the nervous system in the green, yellow, or red zone, and then you can place it where you think and then lift up the little flap to see the answer.
So you made a game. I love it. Okay.
I did.
So if you are stuck in traffic, running late, and your heart is pounding, so we can use our cheat sheets over here.
Here's also an easier cheat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Because I know there's so many words on here that kind of
Gotcha.
helps you just determine the three categories.
The 3 different categories: high alert, alert, edge. Okay, so I feel like maybe stuck in traffic would be, oh, you're kind of on alert. Do I look at the answer now?
Yeah, check.
All right, let's see. Ah, red, high alert, so fight or flight.
Well, the reason, and all of these are subjective, it depends on the intensity, but the reason is because it says here, your heart is pounding.
Oh, your heart is pounding, so that's the giveaway.
When you're stuck in traffic, you might be in yellow, but this person, heart was pounding.
Heart was pounding. Okay. So this one, you're scrolling through your phone in bed for 45 minutes, feeling wired but exhausted. So I'm going to go also red and see if yellow on edge. So these are hard. I feel like the distinction between red and yellow where you're at is a little bit
It's a continuum, and it's a lot harder to do on a card than it is in your own body, which is why the goal is to pay attention to what's happening in your body. So wired but exhausted. So it's like you're a little agitated,
yeah,
but you're not like, your heart isn't pounding. It's not like you're totally preparing to fight or to run away.
Right.
You're just like anxious.
Anxious, yeah. All right, great. Well, thank you for sharing all of this information and for giving us sort of the practical why things are happening.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.